pero lo que me di cuenta es que Rodrigo hablaba más que, que la chica.
Yes, ella fue un poquito más cortante, maybe because she was nervous, a lo mejor por nervios, okay? I am going to share with you guys, voy a compartirles nada más, o sea, I know that we are halfway there, sé que todavía les falta mitad de camino, but I think it helps to know your way. Me gusta encaminarles más o menos o hacerles saber qué es lo que van a ver, porque de repente se me asustan. So here is a qualification for a proficiency exam, okay? So we have here, what do they grade? ¿Qué es lo que califican? Your grammatical resources, your range of grammar, okay? They are looking that you don't just stick to present simple, present simple. They are looking that you use different tenses and conditionals maybe. Lexical resource, discourse management, pronunciation, and interactive communication. A veces nos cerramos tanto, we get so nervous that we think that we only have to pay attention to the judge. Pensamos que solamente tenemos que hacerle este caso al que nos está evaluando. We also have to listen to our partner. Why? Because whatever they say, lo que digan, we have to answer or make an opinion about them. And also we have to like make comments. Hay que hacer comentarios. Okay, so for example, if they say something that we like, we can say, oh, yes, I agree. Oh, yes, that's true. Es verdad. Just for you to make some observations is good. Okay, so it says here, one of the things that they look at is that they control a wide range of grammatical forms. This is what they make use of. Okay. Okay, so for example, el I want to, ya lo vimos, es un futuro. Okay. El you can es algo que podemos hacer. Okay. Want to es el querer. Dar opinión, lo vimos ayer. I think, in my opinion, lo vimos antier. I think, in my opinion. So these things, although they might seem very simple, muy sencillos, it really helps you in your communication. Okay. I'm gonna send it to you guys. Se los voy a mandar. Okay. What do they also look at? They look at the range of vocabulary. Ven el vocabulario. Okay. So here we use roaring. Es un adjetivo. Splashing of the water. En salpiqueo del agua. A third world country. A developing country. Un país que está en desarrollo. Okay. Flipping a page. What does it mean to flip a page? Es otra forma de decir turn the page, dale vuelta a la hoja. Okay, dale a la siguiente página. These might seem very simple to you guys, but using things like snack bars, fast food brands, these are things that we use in conversational English. We might not find it in a textbook, and ahora vengo en un texto, but these things are everyday English. Okay, so it looks very, very simple, but this is why you see, ahora vemos why we see this grammar, porque vemos esta gramática in our book in this way, okay? El I can, in my opinion, the way that they are showing us, la forma que nos están enseñando how to write our opinions, we are also going to express them verbally. In my opinion, I think, firstly, lastly, remember we saw that in the writing, okay? Things like this, para juntar un punto con otro. Creo que se me trabó. ¿No se me trabó? Okay. Para juntar un punto con otro, for example, like, definitely, definitivamente, I agree, I think, in my view, in my opinion. And you see here, did they pay so much attention to pronunciation? ¿Le dieron mucha enfoque a la pronunciación? To the accents? No, solamente dijeron, es inteligible, o sea, se entiende. That was it, eso fue todo. So I think that what we most worry about, lo que más nos preocupa, es la pronunciación. And for an evaluator, it is not so important, okay? They do look at, though, intonation and stress. Okay, we have been seeing that a little bit in each unit. It might seem very insignificant, but it does help with the communication, okay? So this was very simple, you guys. I think you guys could do it. Do you think you guys could do an exam like this? Of course you can. Why don't you answer me? ¿Por qué no me contestan? Of course you guys can do this exam. Right, you guys?
Yes.
Of course. Eso quería escuchar, Diego. I wanted to hear that. Es lo que quería escuchar. Okay, very good. So we finished Unit 5, yes? ¿Terminamos la unidad 5? Or no, we didn't finish it. No la terminamos, mentiras. We finished Unit 4, pero terminamos la 4.
La vamos empezando.
Yeah, we just started it. Acabamos de empezar. So we were looking at infinitive yesterday. Vimos ayer infinitivo. So we are going to continue with 5B, con la 5B. When do we use help? We mentioned yesterday we use it when we are in danger. Cuando estamos en problemas, no se carga la aplicación. Pero ahí va. Okay, ahorita que mientras se cargue. In 5B, it says when in danger. Cuando estemos en un problema, we have here a discussion. Tenemos una discusión. What would you do, you guys? ¿Qué harían if you were on a desert island? Que estuvieras en una isla desierta. What would you guys do? ¿Qué harían? How would you get help?
Mm,
Sí.
How would you guys get help? ¿Cómo pedirían ayuda?
Escriben en la arena SOS.
Okay, SOS, ¿verdad? What does SOS mean, you guys? ¿Qué significa SOS? Do you guys know?
Había visto que en sí no significa nada. O sea, las siglas no significan nada. Simplemente es como se sabe que es para pedir ayuda, ¿no?
It means save. Ay, está trabada mi compu, chicos. Save our ship. Salven a nuestro barco. Ok, lo mandaban antes en código Morse. Yes, they were sending it in Morse code. Okay, so for example, when when a boat is going to sink, cuando se va a hundir un barco, they use Morse code to communicate. Yes, like for example, when the Titanic was sinking. So this is save our ship. Salven nuestro barco. Okay.
Y se quedó para siempre porque luego no tiene nada que ver con los barcos.
Exactamente. Exactly. So this was just now a common expression for help. So if you're on a deserted island, digamos, se estrelló un avión, a plane crashed. Where's the boat? ¿Dónde está el barco? The SOS is a faster way to just, it means help. Representa ayuda. Okay. I have this book. I liked it a lot. I'm gonna see if I can find it in PDF. A ver si lo puedo poner en PDF. There are two very good books. Hay dos libros buenísimos for literature in English, para literatura en inglés, that are very recommended for anyone. Yes, for example, in high school, ¿han escuchado de El Señor de las Moscas?
No.
No? Lord of the Flies. Okay, this is a very good book about psychology. Es un libro sobre psicología. This was a must read in high school. Okay, it was required reading. We had to read it and make an essay about it. It is about a plane that crashes. Se trata de un avión que se estrella. And then there's a group of children, son unos niños. And what do they do without adults? ¿Qué hacen sin adultos? Okay, so this is a story about some children. And like always, there's always the stronger ones, los más fuertes, physically and emotionally, okay? And how they take over. So it's how does society start? ¿Cómo comienza la sociedad? When there are no adults, who makes the rules? ¿Quién hace las reglas? It's a really interesting book in English or Spanish, okay? But it has a really, it's a high level reading. I would say maybe B2 reading, okay? So even if you read it in Spanish, aunque lo lea en español, if you try to read it in English, that would be great because it has really complex structures. Tiene estructuras muy complejas, and it's just a good book, okay? And this other one, Hatchet, is about one boy. It's about one boy. The plane crashes, estrella su avión. Bueno, the plane he was flying in, it was a private plane, un avión privado, and it is him alone on an island. Es él solo una isla. So one is about society, young children, and one is about one person being alone. Did you guys ever see the movie Castaway? ¿Nunca vieron la película Castaway con Tom Hanks?
No, pero sí vi un resumen de eso.
Sí, ¿no ven que estaba solo con un balón que se llamaba Wilson? Era su compañero. So I'm going to send you guys a PDF. Les voy a mandar un PDF of both of these books, because I think that if you guys have the chance to read them, it would be really cool. Sería muy, muy padre. Okay.
¿Como cuántas hojas son del Rey de las Moscas en inglés?
In English, let me see if I can find it, porque I have it in English, o yo tengo en inglés, but I have it printed. Lord of the Flies PDF. A ver si lo encuentro en PDF, ¿sí? Porque ya ves por el copyrights. Eso tienes que pagarlo, pero si no lo conseguimos, singue su. Got it. It is about 250 pages. I have it here. Ya lo encontré, and it's illustrated, tiene ilustraciones. And here in this PDF, you can jump to chapters. Puedes brincar a capítulos. Okay, so I was an excellent book, and it has been analyzed so much, se ha analizado muchísimo, because it is just a good book about psychology. So it is an interesting read. It has also been made into a movie, también se ha hecho película. So I will send this to you guys, because I think it's just a really good book. And I'm going to send you guys the other one. This one I do, the book Hatchet, I use it with one-on-one teaching when I teach private classes. It's a book that is, ya ves que hay muchos libros como que se enfocan mucho a las chicas, ¿no? Libros románticos y todo eso. And there's not a lot of books for just like guys, para chicos. So this book, the main character is a guy, es un chico, you know, so I like that, okay? So I'll look for it too, también se los voy a buscar y mandar, because I think it's worth it, creo que vale la pena. Okay, guys, so going back to our book, regresando a nuestro libro. Can I share this? Okay, so for example, you guys, how do you guys feel? Are you guys, nobody said administration. Have you heard of the theory? X and Y people. Okay, in administration tenemos la teoría de X y Y. What does this mean? Cuando decimos es muy X. What does this mean, you guys? Cuando alguien es muy X.
Es una variable, bueno, en matemáticas es algo que se puede sustituir, que no tiene valor en sí, bueno, que tiene un valor, pero puede ser sustituido por cualquier cosa.
Exactly, and this also applies to humans. También aplica para seres humanos, Vicente. Somebody that is replaceable. Que gacho suena, right? So if we work, if we are employees, okay? Somos empleados. If we do everything the boss tells us, hacemos todo lo que diga el jefe, we are ex-workers, okay? Somos personas X. We do what we are told. We don't cause problems. But if we're not going to show up, si no vamos, if we quit, that's okay. We're going to be replaced by another X person, okay? And what is a Y person? ¿Cuál es la persona Y? Okay, dijeras tú, en el eje de matemáticas, we have X and Y. They are perpendiculars, no son perpendiculares. They are the exact opposite, es lo opuesto. Somebody that is Y, a Y person, they ask questions, hacen preguntas. If you say, oye, Vicente, do this, haz esto. Why? Or you know what, wouldn't it be better, no sería mejor, if we do something else, si hacemos otra cosa? Okay, so why people become bosses? La gente Y es líder. Okay, they are natural born leaders. Okay, me, I think I'm an X person. Yo creo que soy una persona X. Yes, I could take courses in leadership. Yo podría tomar cursos en liderazgo, and I don't think I could be a leader. Okay, so for example, you guys, ustedes, if you guys were to be in an accident, maybe you take a school trip. This is Lord of the Flies. It was a school trip, para un viaje escolar. And you guys get into an accident, están en un accidente. What happens? Are you guys going to be in charge? ¿Van a estar a cargo? Because there are people that are in charge that are, hay gente arriba que están a cargo. And there are the helpers aquí abajo, la gente en medio que anda coordinando son mediadores, and the people on the bottom are just beers. Dicen hay otra expresión en inglés que es beers y doers. Beers y doers. Gente que hace y gente que nada más existe. Yes? So how do you guys think you would act in an accident or in an emergency? Would you guys be in charge? Do you have that calmness to think straight and think what are you going to do? Or do you get nervous? Se ponen nerviosos.
Nervioso.
You get nervous? And you too, Vicente?
No sé.
You know, or what would happen? For example, I had one of my sisters, she screamed for everything, gritaba para todo. Yes. If she was driving and all of a sudden maybe a car cut in front of her, se adelantaba, she would scream, gritaba, and then she would let go of the steering wheel. Soltaba el volante. Is that going to help? No. Okay. And I don't know which is a good way to react. When I was young, cuando yo estaba chica, I was at a store with my mother, estaba en una tienda con mi mamá, and I get very nervous, me pongo muy nerviosa. When I go to Oxxo with my daughters, I always want them with me, las quiero conmigo. Why? Why do I get nervous? Because one time I went to a store like Oxxo, it was a 7-Eleven, era un 7-Eleven. I went with my mother, and she went to buy the newspaper, ella fue a comprar el periódico, and I went to go see the little toys, los juguetitos baratos. And a burglar came in, entró un ladrón, and he had a gun. He had a gun and he pointed it at the cashier. And I remember he came to the back, se fueron atrás, and to where the warehouse was, donde estaba el almacén. And the cashier, el chico que trabajaba ahí, he saw me, me vio, and he looked at me like saying, don't make any noise, no haga ruido. And I walked away, me fui de puntitas, I walked away backwards, me fui corriendo para atrás, and the burglar didn't see me. Yes, so I think that if it would have been my sister, si hubiera sido mi hermana, she would have screamed, and who knows what would have happened. Yes, but anyways, we act differently in different situations. Yes, of danger. So here we are talking about danger. We're talking about help and how to handle situations. Okay, so here is the beginning of this signal. Este señal de auxilio. It's sending out an SOS. Okay, we use here the verb with ing, sending out an SOS. So we have here an article that says before the development of radio communication. Okay, antes no teníamos radio comunicación. So when a ship was in danger, there were a number of ways to signal for help. Okay, we had smoke signals, señales de humo, lightning signal flares, que eran como tipos cohetes, okay? They would show the location, okay? Lanzaban cohetes, they would throw up the signals, okay? And they could see maybe how far, they could calculate how far the ship was, okay? Or also a flag, okay? If you see a ship has a, tiene un asta, it has a pole, and we have the flags, tenemos las banderas, and we can send up a red flag. Levantamos una bandera roja, yes, if we are in danger. So we could also use bells, campanas, or foghorns. ¿Qué es foghorn? Do you guys know this?
¿Bengalas? Tal vez.
No, I know you guys know it. Sé que lo conocen. I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but you know the sound, saben el sonido. It is, I'm gonna show you guys one. Les voy a mostrar uno. No es la caspa, hold on. What's this? Okay, so here we have the sea. We have the lighthouse, que es el faro.
Para los barcos, los embarcaderos.
Ajá. That's the noise. ¿Verdad que sí conocemos el sonido? We know this noise. Okay, I didn't know how to say it in Spanish. No sabía cómo decirlo en español. Okay, so they send to the lighthouse, mandan al faro that they are in need of help, que ocupan ayuda, and the lighthouse sends out that signal. Okay, so these were ways of other ships, okay? Era para que otros barcos te escucharan, okay? And you know what? They're still used today. Todavía se utilizan el día de hoy, okay? But as we started developing wireless telegraphy, okay, the sailors, ¿qué son sailors? Marineros. They started using Morse code. Do you guys know Morse code?
Código Morse.
¿Nunca estuvieron en los scouts? No, never?
No.
Okay, so it is a way to signal and it has long and short sounds. Okay, so for example, nobody here plays the piano? ¿Nadie toca el piano? Nobody? ¿Un teclado?
No.
Okay, so what do the symbols mean? ¿Qué significan los símbolos? El circulito significa que nada más lo tocas y lo sueltas. You touch it and you let go. They're very short. Touch, let go, touch, let go, touch, let go. Y el sonido largo es que lo sostienes, okay? So you press it longer and let go. Press it and then let go, okay? So just like Braille, así como Braille, we have symbols for each letter. Tenemos símbolos para cada letra, okay? So it says here, the letters SOS in International Morse Code. Al decir internacional is because this is general. It doesn't change with language. No cambia con el idioma. The Morse code is this. Okay. So the first people to use it was the German government. Fue el ejército de Alemania. They used it at the beginning of the 20th century. To be more specific, in 1905. Remember, we use in for specific years. Okay. And in just 3 years, guys, solamente en 3 años, it was now international. So first it was just the German government, okay? And this became so effective that it became mandatory for everyone to use it. So that it would be something universal, okay? Well, it says here, you guys, I was taught, a mí me enseñaron, that, yes, honey? Okay, very good. Okay, very good. I know which one it is. Okay. So, very good, honey. I'm in class. Estoy en clase. I told you guys that SOS means save our ship. There are other people that say it means save our souls. Que significa salven a nuestras almas, yes? But it says here it's not true. That it doesn't stand for anything. My brother was in the army. Mi hermano estaba en el ejército. He was a sergeant in the Secret Services. And he had always told me, and siempre me dijo, that this was true. That it does mean save our ship. Okay? But it says here, mande, mijo. Wait for me, see? Espérame. So he says that this was used in the military. And there are different versions of how this came about, okay? But in general, SOS is very simple, okay? And they signal it with 3 short and 3 long, and then 3 short flashes of the light, or writing it in the sand or snow. Entonces, si tuvieran luces en el barco, they would flash them in the Morse code. Shorts, they would turn on the light and turn it off. Turn on the light and turn it off. If it was very quick, it was like a circle, yes? And if it was longer, it was like the bars we see here in the SOS. Also, it says here it is very popular because if we turn SOS upside down, ¿qué significa upside down? Si lo volteamos al revés, we read the same thing. Leemos exactamente lo mismo, okay? And on the contrary, if we write help or auxilio, socorro, in any language, if we write it upside down, si lo escribimos al revés, it's not going to be legible, no va a ser legible. And SOS is just, it's a palindrome. Hasta bueno significa. It's a palindrome. We can read it the same front to back. Okay. So we mentioned the Titanic. Mencionamos el Titanic. Have you guys seen the movie? Of course. You have seen it, honey? Okay, it says here that when the sinking of the Titanic, they tried to send a SOS message to a nearby ship. Okay, and they used a Morse lamp. Like I said, they use lamps also to make Morse code. They would turn on the lamp and turn it off. Okay, but this was very recent still. También todavía era muy reciente, and that ship didn't understand or realize that they were asking for help, que estaban pidiendo ayuda. Yes. So did you guys know about Morse code? Nunca, you had never heard of it? You had heard of it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, but you were never taught it. Nunca se les enseñó. Do you think
No.
it should be taught? ¿Creen que se les debe enseñar como algo general?
Mm,
No sé.
Yes.
Tal vez.
Maybe, I think it should be something universal. Algo universal, yes? You know, because what do we do in an emergency? ¿Qué hacemos en una emergencia? Yes? Sometimes we don't know what to do. And now that we are in a different generation, we just suponemos that we are always going to have Wi-Fi, that we are always going to have GPS. But what happens if our phone turns off? Se apaga el teléfono. What happens if somebody steals our phone? Nos roba el teléfono. How do we have to communicate? Okay. So you guys know which way is north? ¿Saben cuál es el norte? Do you guys know the cardinal directions?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So if you're out in the street, y si alguien dice para el norte, do you know which way it is? ¿Sabes para qué lado es?
Sí.
Para adelante.
Okay, okay, but if you're just standing here, do you know which way it is? ¿Sabes para qué lado es?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Where does the sun set? Okay, uso una pregunta en presente simple. Where does the sun set? Porque siempre se atardece en el mismo lugar. Where does the sun set? In what direction?
¿En el este?
Are you sure? Porque you said it with an intonation. Lo dijiste con entonación.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. ¿Quién da más?
No, no me acuerdo. No recuerdo. Bueno, cuando voy caminando por la tarde, pues ya veo todo el sol arriba, ¿no? Entonces no veo para dónde va la sombra.
It sets in the west. Que es el oeste, yes?
Así.
Okay, and where does it rise? It rises in the east, okay? So here,
¿Dónde se esconde,
ajá, ¿dónde se esconde?
Ah.
Here in the east and the west, it falls, okay? So the sun sets in the west. Okay, you guys, so let's look at the questions. We know what is Morse code. How can we explain it? ¿Cómo lo podemos escribir? Is it a code which uses sound or lights, a distress signal, or a code that sends signals with flares? We read a little bit about all of this, but directly, what is Morse code?
Code we use sound or light.
Okay, a code that which uses sound or lights. So we agree? Yes, we do. Si estamos de acuerdo. Okay, what about, why did it become an international distress signal? Why was it so important? Mande, mija. Permíteme. Mija, estoy en clases. ¿Qué pasó? Sí, mija.
Shows,
Sorry, guys.
shows, uh, no sé, la B.
Okay. Well, they say here that it's because it is simple, porque es fácil de recordar. Yes, and we can read it the same backwards and forwards and upside down, okay? That makes sense. Eso tiene sentido. Okay, and what is true about it? We read several things about SOS, but what is true about? ¿Qué podemos decir que sí es cierto?
B.
B, you're laughing.
You can read it upside down.
Okay, it is both of the above. Okay. Okay, so we can, both things. We can read it upside down. And also we can send it, we can, like you said in the beginning, Diego, we can write it in the sand, lo podemos poner en la arena. And we can also use it with flashes of lights. Okay. And so in the ends, in the story or in the history of the Titanic, okay, they said, if, vamos a ver más adelante los condicionales, if es el sí, el hubiera. If the Californian ship would have helped the Titanic on time, maybe they would have saved more people. But why didn't they help the Titanic? ¿Por qué no ayudaron al barco?
Teacher, ya vengo, están tocando la puerta.
Don't worry, no te preocupes.
Eh, eh, no sé, creo que es, bueno, dice que no sabían qué estaba haciendo, o sea, qué estaba pasando, pero no sé si se refiere a si no entendían o no conocían no sabían qué hacer. Bueno,
They
la B,
didn't
¿no?
understand it. No sabían ni qué onda. They're like, why is the light turning off? Why are they turning it on and turning it off? So it had very little time had passed. Poco tiempo había pasado. That it wasn't so universally known. Okay, everybody was doing it, but it wasn't like something that everybody knew. Yes. So remember, we said that it started in Europe. Yes, empezó en Europa, and the Californian didn't know what was happening. Okay, they had no idea. ¿Ya habrá regresado Diego?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes, you're back.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, you guys. So we have here. Can I share this? Si lo puedo compartir. Okay, so we went over this. Vimos esto con intención. Let's look at it really quickly. What is a signal? A signal is we can make a movement or sound to give information. Okay, guys, it's my internet. Es mi internet que está fallando. So, like I said, we see here the word signal. It means that we make a movement or sound to give information. Okay, it can be a movement with our hands, with an object, con un objeto. It can be a light or it can be sounds. This is a signal. Do you guys have a signal in your home? ¿Tienen alguna seña en su casa? Ya sea que la mirada, maybe a look, maybe a signal like let's go. Nothing? You guys don't have this? ¿No tienen esto?
Yo no.
No?
No.
No, no manejan eso en sus casas. Okay, very good. What about a location? Cuando dicen, mándame tu ubicación, ¿ok? ¿O dónde está la ubicación? It is the place where something or someone is.
Is where something is.
The place where something is or someone, ¿ok? Where is her location? ¿Dónde está su ubicación? Okay. What about stand for? What does this mean? Stand for. Oh, have you guys heard this before? ¿Lo han escuchado? Stand for.
Una
Yo
persona.
no.
Algo que representa. For example, my daughter has tattooed. Mi hija tiene tatuado LEVM. Okay. I'm like, what does that stand for? ¿Qué representa? And it is the initials of her brother's name. Son las siglas de nombre de su hermano que falleció hace poquito. 4 years ago. Yes. So when it says, what does it stand for? Or vaya, tenemos aquí ahorita 1000 partidos, ¿sí? We have the, if somebody comes from outside of Mexico, alguien viene de fuera de México, and they ask, what does PRI stand for? What does PRD stand for? What does PAN stand for? Okay. What does it mean? What does it stand for? We say, Partido de Acción Nacional. Yes. And what is the government, you guys? How can we describe the governments? ¿Cómo lo describimos? A group of people, supuestamente, a group of people who run a country. What does it mean to run a country?
Bueno, que deciden todo el país.
Uh-huh.
Los encargados.
Yes. Okay. So if I say, I run my own business. Yo manejo mi propio negocio. I run a business. I run a website. También podemos decir, si tienes una página web, digamos en tercera persona, he runs a website. Okay, entonces aquí no habla de correr, significa que él lo maneja. Okay. And we read about,
Entonces,
yes, tell me.
está bien decir I run a car.
You run what?
I run
¿Una
a
carrera?
car. A car. Un carro. Pues
No,
yo manejo un carro, ahí no aplica, ¿verdad?
se maneja como de manage, like a manage a campaign. Okay, también podemos decir, I'm running an advertisements. Estoy corriendo o manejando un anuncio en un periódico o algo así.
Me refiero de carro. O
Sí,
sea,
también por eso, cuando decimos manejar un carro, decimos drive. Eso es
también
específicamente drive a car. No
no
decimos,
se podría usar eso.
no, not in that context. Good observation, buena observación. Yes. Upside down significa que está al revés, ¿ok? Literalmente que la parte que está arriba va abajo. Upside down, we read that with the bottom on the top and the top on the bottom. Que la parte que está abajo está al revés, que está arriba y la parte que va arriba está abajo, ¿ok? Si hablamos de lado a lado, así que algo está al revés, digamos, ya ves las chicas, yo casi no me tomo selfies, pero dice su playera, digamos, dice Barbie, ahorita que está de moda, ¿sí? Se toman una selfie y la cámara está al revés. So when they post a picture on Facebook or Instagram, las letras están al revés, ¿sí? Ok, hay que voltear la imagen otra vez para que se vea bien. What is this?
El espejo.
Ajá, el espejo. So what does it mean when we write when we see things in the mirror, cuando vemos cosas en el espejo, we say backwards, que lo de atrás está adelante. ¿Ok? De arriba hacia abajo es upside down, volteado. Y si se trata del espejo, it is backwards. ¿Ok? And what is crew? Crew es la tripulación. It is the people who work on a ship or on a plane. Okay, you guys, really quick, I'm going to go over, you guys, voy a repasar con ustedes prepositional phrases with in, okay? We use here a lot in English phrases, usamos frases, okay? They all go together, todos van en conjunto to mean something very specific. In the beginning significa al principio, okay? Were you scared to learn how to drive? Or were you scared with a new situation? And we say, in the beginning, al principio, to be danger is estar en peligro. Okay, so maybe, for example, pasa mucho con las chicas, la clásica, they don't come home. No llegan a casa un día. And what does the mother say? I think she is in danger. Creo que está en peligro. Okay, entonces cuando sabemos lo que es in, no vamos a decir on danger, es literalmente está dentro de un problema. What does it mean to be in a hurry? ¿Qué significa esto? Have you guys heard it before? ¿Han escuchado? Have you heard?
No
Hurry
me
up.
acuerdo qué significaba.
¿Han escuchado hurry up?
Sí.
Significa apúrate, ¿sí? I see, es an order. Sí, te estoy exigiendo, apúrate. ¿Ok? Si digo, she's in a hurry, significa que está apurada, pero vamos a decir en inglés que está dentro de un apuro, no un apuro de un problema, pero está dentro de un límite de tiempo donde está muy apurada. ¿Ok? Si te veo así como que medio ansioso, te estoy hablando, me hablas por teléfono, you call me on the phone, and you can ask me, are you in a hurry? ¿Tienes prisa? I need to talk, ocupo hablar. Okay. Are you in a hurry? ¿Tienes prisa? Okay. Or maybe,
Cuando
yes,
está en una situación, entonces es on hurry o no aplicaría.
cuando tenemos un problema que decimos estoy en
Ajá,
apuros.
estoy en un problema, ¿no?
No,
No
okay.
aplica como el
Podemos decir,
de danger.
vamos a decir, por ejemplo, aquí no viene in trouble. I'm in trouble, estoy en problemas. Los chiquillos, es muy común. Yes, they're playing. They're two cousins playing, los primos jugando. And somebody drops something or they break something, quiebran algo y dicen, you're in trouble, estás en problemas. Okay. Tu hermanito llega tarde, dices, you're in trouble, estás en problemas. I'm going to tell my mom, lo voy a decir a mi mamá. Entonces, this is another situation. Es decir, estamos en apuros. In English, we'll say that you are in trouble. Okay. También decimos en inglés. En español tenemos el adjetivo enamorado, enamorada. In English, we say in love. Yes. So we use a lot of phrases with in. Okay. So I'm in a hurry. Are you in a hurry? Okay. You see somebody in the street. Te encuentras algún amigo, no sé, de la secundaria. You see somebody, an old friend on the streets, and they start talking, empiezan a hablar and say, you know what? I would love to talk, me encantaría hablar, but I'm in a hurry. Estoy apurado. We'll talk later, hablamos después. Okay. We were talking yesterday about opinions, hablando de opiniones. Okay. So for example, even in Spanish, as en español, we use this a lot. Y, para listar nuestras razones, opiniones. In English, we do the same thing. And. Okay. So phrases like this, frases como esta, in addition, is a really nice way of having a good vocabulary. Okay, so we don't say and all the time. We can say in addition, furthermore, para agregar, okay, but in addition is agregando algo. Okay, what about yesterday we were looking at opinions? We can use, we said also in Spanish, también decimos en español, in my opinion. Okay. We also use the expression in facts. What do you think in fact means? Have you heard this before, you guys? ¿Lo habían escuchado antes? In fact, what does this mean? Significa de hecho. De hecho, in fact, and then you add a fact. Procedes a practicar una razón, un motivo, algo de información. In common, we also use it in Spanish, right? También lo usamos en español. Okay. When we have things in common. So you guys have things in common? You guys know each other now for more than one course? ¿Se conocen desde hace más de un curso? So you guys have things in common? Hmm? Yes.
No sé.
You don't know if you have things in common?
Sí que sí.
Okay, for example, you are both in high school. Yes. That's it, that's all.
Que estudiamos inglés.
That you study English together? Okay, you both study English, very good. Okay, what about in the end? What does this mean? Me van a decir, tengo muchos chavos que me dicen la canción de Linkin Park. You guys like Linkin Park? No?
No,
¿No conocen a Linkin Park?
he escuchado, pero no las canciones.
Me dieron
Bueno,
me dieron el chavorruco. Okay, so there's a song by Linkin Park and it's called literally, se llama In the End, que significa al final. Okay. So maybe we're telling a long story, estamos platicando algo y en vez de empezar con un rollo, say, okay, in the end, al final, this happens. Esto pasó. Okay, so you guys are going to do for homework, me van a hacer de tarea. You guys are going to finish this. Van a terminar esto del vocabulario.
ok. Maestra, ¿cuándo tienen la reunión? ¿Ha dicho mañana?
Tomorrow you guys have the day off. Ustedes tienen día libre. I am going to leave you some work, sí les voy a dejar algo de trabajo. No los voy a dejar ahí tan fácilmente. Okay, so let's continue, you guys. Vamos a continuar. We are going to use here again the ing form. We mostly know the ing form as the present progressive, yes? So acuerdan que lo estamos con presente progresivo? Something that is happening right now, algo que está pasando ahorita. Okay, but, yes?
¿Usan con el infinitivo también?
Ajá, ahorita vamos a ver eso. Okay, so for example, we use it as a subject. Lo usamos como sujeto. This means that panicking doesn't help when you're in danger. I was talking to you about the situation where my sister, she panics, ¿es okay? Ella entra en pánico. Es el verbo de paniquearnos, ¿sí? My sister would panic for everything. And I don't know if it's control, no sé si es control of my part, or if it's just that I'm so stupid, que soy tan tonta, that I don't do anything, yes? But in general, panicking doesn't help when you're in danger. When we talk about a general verb, but the verb is the subject, es el sujeto, we use it with ing. Okay? After certain verbs, después de ciertos verbos, como start, finish, like, love, enjoy, hates, can't stand. ¿Se acuerdan que era can't stand? Es el que detestamos algo. After this, we use it with a noun or a verb. Okay, but if we use it with a verb, the verb is with ing. So for example, I like walking in the park. We use here the verb like. I like, and we're going to use the verb walking with ing. Okay? Actually, the main verb in this sentence is like. Es el verbo principal en oración. Because remember, in a sentence, en oración en inglés, es el sujeto y el verbo. Okay, so here the verb is like. The subjects or the object of this verb, el objeto de este verbo is walking, es la acción de caminar. ¿Qué es lo que, the verb here is like, el verbo es like. What do I like? Walking, me gusta caminar. I like swimming. She likes swimming in the ocean. Le gusta nadar en el mar. Okay. They like eating out. Les gusta salir a cenar. Okay, this is with like. What about love? I love watching Friends. I love doing exercise. Okay, all of these are subjects and verb, but with verbs like these, like, love, enjoy, hates, the verb we're going to use it with ing. Okay, what is the thing that you guys enjoy? Because algo que disfrutan, an activity, una actividad. Nothing? Okay. Diego enjoys, what do you enjoy, Diego?
Platicar.
Okay. Diego enjoys talking with friends. Okay. Vicente, algo que detestas, an activity that you hate. For example, Veronica, me, hates dancing. Detesto bailar. Okay, so we use the verb hates, algo que no nos gusta. I hate speaking in public. Detesto hablar en público. They hate dancing. Okay, with hate and a verb that follows y un verbo que le sigue, usamos ing. And what is can't stands? ¿Se acuerdan que es can't stands?
No soporta.
Algo que no soporta. So for example, I can't stand listening to Bad Bunny. Do you guys like Bad Bunny? Sorry.
Yo escucho de todo porque de su trabajo.
Yes, of course, right? But I personally don't like him. Yo personalmente, I don't like him, so I can't stand listening to him. Okay.
Es como dice maestra de que si escucha mucho algo, pues va a decir, bueno, pues ya.
Pues ya que, yes?
Sí.
And you know what's the worst part? Lo peor is that all of my students listen to him. Todos mis alumnos lo escuchan. And sometimes we have reunions. A veces nos reunimos. There's this one group, hay un grupo de chicos that I gave them class last year. And we still get together. Todavía nos reunimos. So anyways, we have parties, tenemos fiestas. And they always play his songs. Okay, so what happens? In the end, al final, I sing the songs. Okay, so of course they have recorded me, me han grabado. But like you say, you get used to it, ¿sí? Te acostumbras. Okay, anyways, we also use it after prepositions, después de preposiciones. So, for example, the preposition by. We use it by and the verb using. Okay, so we're going to see some examples together. Vamos a hacerlo juntos. Okay. I was talking with some students this morning that they were my former students also, but they started with another book. Comenzaron con otro libro. And I said, teacher, I don't like this book. But you know what? I like it, you guys. I like it because this kind of I think to learn English, hay cursos enteros, really. There are so many courses online. And as a teacher, I don't like saying, ese no sirve. I think there are so many different ways of learning. You can't say that one thing is not good, okay? And there's some teachers that they focus just on phrasal verbs and prepositions. Okay, there are some teachers that they base their course on this, basan su curso en esto, parten de ahí, which I think is cool. Creo que está padre, because English has so many, así como tenemos muchos modismos en español, o albures y así. O sea, if somebody comes, I remember you guys that you guys weren't born yet, no habían nacido. But when I was in college, I remember that there were some students that they were here, they were exchange students from Germany. There was one from Germany and one from Austria. Okay, so their English was very formal, su inglés era muy formal. But they came here to learn Spanish, yes? And we didn't have iPhones back then. There was internet, sí había internet, but you had to be in your house. Teníamos que estar en nuestra casa. We had to unconnect the phone, desconectar el teléfono, and get online, yes? So we didn't have internet so easily at the tip of our fingers and en la enseñanza digital. It wasn't so fast, yes? So these students, they carried around these little pocket dictionaries. Tenían diccionarios de bolsillo, yes? And I remember the expression, cuando empezó a usar esa expresión, ¿qué pedo? And I remember one of the guys, his name was Julian, he was German and alemán. He was really confused, yes? And they would repeat it. Los chavos lo repetían, o sea, for one thing or for another, ¿qué pedo? What are we going to do? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué hacemos? Yes? And he understood, ¿qué hacemos? What are we doing? And he asked somebody, le preguntó a una persona, ¿qué es un pedo? Yes, ¿qué es un pedo? And they told him, ¿qué es un pedo? Ah, pues alguien se echó un pedo. And I think that left him more confused, lo dejó más confundido. So the way we express ourselves here in Mexico, la forma que nos expresamos aquí en México está, es hermosa. I think it's so colorful. I think that wherever you go, a donde quiera que vayas, it's Cuban Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish, South American Spanish, but the Mexican Spanish and the albures is very particular. So when you have a student, cuando tienes un estudiante that studied formal Spanish, que estudió un español formal, the way we are learning it now, and they come here, miren aquí, and que dicen ay, ¿qué haces? Yo X, ¿y Tuxpan? And they're like, what is Tuxpan? They look in the dictionary, Tuxpan es un lugar. So they don't understand, right? Entonces, en fin, ¿a qué voy con esto? I think it is very important. I like that this book uses the prepositional phrases and phrasal verbs. I think introducing this to you guys, even if you think that it's not important, if you guys noticed in the speaking video I showed you for the C2 exam, this is exactly what they look for, you guys. Es exactamente lo que ellos buscan, that you use English, everyday English, okay? So we're gonna use this together, okay, you guys? You have here, en español decimos acordeón, que también se me hace hermosísimo. ¿Qué hace un acordeón? Pues se desdobla, ¿verdad? Okay. In English, we just say cheat sheets. ¿Qué es cheats? El verbo de hacer trampa. Perdón, esto es E. Y sheets es una hoja de papel. Entonces, es la hoja de papel donde engañamos. Qué chiste, ¿verdad? I think Spanish is so much fun. Okay, so you have here in your book, tienen su acordeón. Que, ¿sí miren su libro? Yes. ¿Sí miren su libro? In the part of the grammar, en la parte de la gramática, this part. Aquí tienen, you use the verbs. Vimos aquí los verbos where we use ing. Okay? So, we have here a conversation. We have here two conversations, you guys. And the first one, it says, we're lost. Estamos perdidos. What should we do? Normal. ¿Qué hacemos? Presente simple. Yes, honey. Sí, es un árbol. Okay, se va a hacer planta, después lo traspasamos afuera, ¿sale? Okay, you guys. So, okay, honey, very good. Okay. Excelente. So it says here, don't panic. No nos paniquemos. No hay que alertarnos. And the person answers, but it's getting dark. Remember we use present progressive, presente progresivo, for something that is happening now or something that is progressing, algo que está progresando. It is in motion. So it's getting dark. Cada vez se hace más oscuro. Okay. How about lighting a fire? So this
Letting,
is, ¿mande?
no, letting.
Okay.
Letting.
Lighting, exactly, because we use here the preposition. Usamos aquí la preposición de about. Okay, how about? Okay. Someone will see it. Alguien lo verá. So what does the person answer? We have here a blank space, you guys. Tenemos un espacio en blanco. It says, a fire near a forest is a crazy thing to do. What are we going to use here? Make or making?
I would like make, no, bueno, making.
It would be making, okay? This is, you guys, this is a subject, sería el sujeto. Making a fire is a crazy thing to do. Okay, very good, you guys. So they say, wait, I can hear something. Puedo escuchar algo. And it says here, it's a car, es un carro, quick. Entonces, ahorita estamos en el momento, quick, rápido. Starts running this way, okay? Estamos iniciando. To start, ese es el verbo principal. What are we going to do? We're going to start running. Empieza a correr. Okay, we're going to use here running. Okay, you guys, does this make sense to you? ¿This hace sentido?
Yes.
Sí, ya porque tengo el contexto, pero así a simple vista no.
Así a simple vista, no, okay? So when we look at it in the grammar, cuando vemos en la gramática, sometimes it's like, okay, yes, okay, yes. So we have here short conversations that are going to help us with this, okay? When we see it in a real conversation, cuando lo hacemos en una situación disque real, we understand it a little bit more. I'm going to leave for homework, you guys, les voy a dejar tarea, some more exercises for this, so you can read a little bit more context, okay? The more sentences we read, mientras más leamos oraciones, okay, and this is why it's also important for reading, okay? When, for example, the short story, you guys, el cuento corto que les mandé el otro día, did you guys finish reading it? ¿Lo terminaron de leer?
Yo todavía no lo
Not
leí.
yet? Okay, okay,
Yo
the point
tampoco.
is, el punto es, you guys think, oh, I have a good level of English, and you do, sí lo tienen, okay? But I remember one time, I sent some of my fifth level students, unos chicas de quinto nivel, I sent them a short story, un cuento corto, yes? And I said, write all the words you don't know. Y se me trabaron. Teacher, había un montón de palabras que no conocía. Don't look at it in a bad way, no lo vean como algo malo. It is a good thing. That means that today, you just learned 5 new words. Acabas de llevarte al cerebro 5 palabras nuevas que aprendiste el día de hoy. Okay, so every time we read, what do we notice? ¿Qué vemos cuando vemos la lectura? Not just words, chicos. No nomás son las palabras. Context, contextos, conversations, and the way these things are put into conversations. Okay, so we see here, vemos aquí cuadros súper pequeños y súper concisos. This is just an explanation. This is just an example of English. But when we see it in conversation, when we see it in dialogues in a book, our brain starts to register it. Nuestro cerebro empieza a registrarlo. Okay, so for example, when I was learning Spanish from my cousins, cuando yo estaba aprendiendo español con mis primos, es que me habías dicho, es que esto, que aquello. I would say that, I would repeat it because that's what I heard them say. Les escuchaba decir eso. Okay, I didn't know the difference between tutear and talk to somebody in the form of usted. Es que usted me dijo, yo le decía a algún compañero, and then they explained to me, como explicaron, es que a mí no me vas a decir usted. Okay, and the verbs change also, también cambia el verbo. So you start noticing structures, empiezan a notar estructuras. So when you start reading, your brain won't even give you an explanation. Tu cerebro no te va a dar ninguna explicación. You are automatically going to understand what words go together. The more you guys read, the more you understand what words go together. ¿Qué palabras van una con otra? So for example, you are going to realize or note, maybe you're not even going to realize why you're saying it. When we use like and love and joy and hate, that is always going to be followed by a verb, if it is a verb, with ing, okay? I love watching Friends. I like going out to eat. I enjoy listening to music. Oh, I hate speaking in public. Oh, I hate going to parties, okay? So it is just a normal conversation, and you're going to realize that it is by repetition, it's repetición. So this is why I recommend reading a lot, okay? So I'm going to send you guys some more exercises so that we can work on this, para que puedan trabajar esto. Okay, you guys are going to do for homework the second conversation, la segunda conversación. Okay, and I'm going to send you guys a PDF, les voy a mandar un PDF of what you're going to work on tomorrow. Same thing, igual. During class, or the time you will take for class, el tiempo que te vayan de la clase, you can do the homework that you have for tomorrow and for Friday. So all of it will be due for Friday. Todo va a ser para el viernes, okay? Any questions you have, send me a message. I teach class in the mornings, so clases en las mañanas en la university, and in the afternoons, I teach class online. They are private classes, like clases particulares en línea, until 5 o'clock, hasta las 5. But I never turn off my phone, guys. Nunca apago el teléfono. Vicente sabe que he can send me a message at 11:30 and I will answer, right, Vicente? Te voy a contestar.
Sí.
Con todo gusto. I really like that you guys have questions. Me encanta que tengan preguntas. I really like, Vicente, that you were worried about finishing the exam. Yes. So always have the confidence, you guys, to ask questions, whether you be in 3rd level right now or that you're later in another, you know what, one of my students, he went last week to LA, se fue a Los Angeles, and he started texting me, me estaba mandando textos, teacher, I am going to go tomorrow, mañana voy a ir, I'm going to go to Universal Studios. What do I say if this happens? Or how do I ask for this? ¿Cómo pido esto? ¿Cómo pido aquello? So I would send him like really short dialogues, así como oraciones súper pequeñas o preguntas of what he could ask, que pudiera preguntar, or things to look for, cosas que pudiera buscar, yes? So don't ever doubt on asking questions, you guys. It is part of our learning. Es parte del aprendizaje, okay? Okay, un ratito más les mando un PDF so you guys can see what you're going to do for tomorrow. Okay, you guys? Ya los voy a dejar descansar. Mucho bla 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 el día de hoy.
Bye, teacher.
Okay, see you guys on
Bye,
Friday.
teacher.
Bye.
See you.